Hello guys, welcome back again. Yassine here. Today I want to make another video that hopefully it's educational and will help most of you. Alright, let's dive in real quick. I write down some tips here that hopefully will help you, and I got a lot, but hopefully I'll cover most of it. If not, next time I will put in more tips. Alright, so here are the tips, and we're going to discuss them little by little. First tip I want to talk about is that trading has many variables to it. I wish somebody would have told me this at the beginning, like a long time ago. I just all I knew back then is just you gotta buy the hottest stock, and then you buy it. Hopefully you bought it at a good time at a better price, and then you have to sell it for profit. So for me back then, that was the strategy. False. That's not how you actually have to start trading. With this video, I'm just discussing and talking to somebody who just started trading for a couple of months or even a year, intermediate. I just want to remind you guys that I'm not a guru. I'm not claiming to be one. I'm just sharing my experiences and my opinions with you. All right, so first of all, you have to ask yourself, who are you? Are you a swing trader? Are you a day trader? Are you a position trader? Are you an investor? So you have to get that out of the way. Right? You want to invest in markets for the long run? Do you like day trading? You like to look at the screen all day and get in and get out? Are you a scalper, or are you a swing trader? You want to buy and hold for a couple of weeks to a couple of months? All right, that's the first question you have to ask yourself. You if you really want to take trading seriously, you really have to think about it right before you start. I wish somebody would have told me this when I just started. Second tip is, what is your time frame? So if you're a swing trader, you're gonna be holding stocks overnight. You're gonna be holding stock for 3 days to 1 week, like I said, to a couple of months. Or if you're a day trader, you know how it is. You in and out, and you don't have any, you're not holding any security after 4 o'clock when the market closes, and so on and so on. So ask yourself that question. Third thing is, what is your edge or strategy that fits your personality? And then you're really willing to stick with it for a long period of time, and you always can tweak it. All right, you have to come up with strategy. Either you learn it, for me, actually, I have to hire a lot of people. I have to pay for courses. I have to I bought course from this guy, from the guy, so I can develop my own strategy, and I tweak it at the end. So you really have to know your strategy. What is it? Where do you enter? Where do you enter the stock? Where do you sell it, and all that? So you really have to have an edge, a strategy, something that you like, something that you will feel it with time. You'll feel that you're leaning to a certain strategy. Fifth thing is position size, and I think I talked about this briefly last time. Is just keep it simple. You have a small account, $10,000. Just divide it, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. You don't want to do that. Just go a little bit heavy, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Position size, and you can't just lean and put a lot of money, like 5 and divide it to 2. It's kind of like, especially when you start, if you just started, it's gonna be a little hard. Trade small if you just develop a strategy. If you follow the steps that I just told you, you just develop strategy. Start small. You have 10,000. Just put $500 in a trade. Put $200 just to test the water. All right. Sixth thing is trade management. And then reading the tape. You really have to put in a lot of work to understand how charts work. Hopefully, I will implement this in one of my future videos. And I'll try to help you guys with as much as I can. What I mean by trade management is, like I said, once you develop that strategy, once you feel comfortable with it, you have to know where you get in, when you get out, how the market is doing, how's the environment. Are we in a crash? Are we in a correction? Or the market is trending higher? So all this stuff, and then you have to manage, of course, your emotions. And you always remind yourself, that because you have that edge, and that we don't want these emotions to play with us, especially if the market is just making a correction during the day, and right at the close, you be like, man, I shouldn't have sold. I should have just stick to my rules. So you have rules in place, so you're not playing with those emotions. That's what those rules are for. Seventh thing is you have to know, like we said, how to enter a stock and when to profit and when to exit, and that comes again to that. It plays in that edge and that strategy that you have to come up with, and you have to develop within the time. It's not one thing, unless if you want to copy somebody, which I don't advise. You can copy him at the beginning, but trust me, and for the long run, you want to have your own tweaks, something that you really feel comfortable with. Like for me, I have an appetite of like risking not more than 7%. Like I said, most of the time 3 to 5%. I mean, you might have like a 10% appetite risk, which it's totally fine, but it's up to you. So you have to tweak it. Last thing is risk management, and what is your mass loss. This is what I just actually talked about. Last one actually, was this one. This is very big, as far as I'm concerned. Even once you develop all this stuff right here, have a flexible mind. I mean, what I mean by that is, you enter a stock today, and then let me give you an example here. I mean, whatever it is, you just, for me, like I'm trading a breakout, and stock was just going into a range, and all of a sudden it just broke out. It doesn't mean that it broke out, that it's going to keep going higher. Have that flexible mind, and then just see what the market, wait for that feedback for that market. Everything can be fine. The stock could be like in an uptrend, all of a sudden, it just can crash on you. Take that loss and get out. Have a flexible mind. Don't be like, oh no, the stock has been pushing higher and it has to push higher. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, I remember back then when we just had that correction, everything was fine. Actually, on the SPY, I believe, everything was fine. Like everything was going fine right in here. We broke out all-time high. Everything was going fine. The price was above all moving averages, and all of a sudden, with no warning, bam, just like that, 35% loss, just like that. The whole market just lost it in shortest bear market ever. Like, you have to have that flexible mind to get out when things start working against you. All right, and actually, I was gonna talk about one of the point. Actually, I did not mention it here. Let me put this back this stuff back here. I'm sorry. Let me just go back to text. I just want to put all those points. If once you develop an edge, once you have a strategy, stick to it. Let me give you a little story of what happened to me. Back then, I was trying to develop swing trading. I liked swing trading, and at that time, like, the market wasn't. I don't remember exactly what year was it. Market wasn't really that good. I have some like failed breakout, and then I'm like, you know what? This is not gonna work for me. It's been. I have so many losses, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna do some kind of like day swing trade. I'm just gonna buy a breakout. I gotta make $200, $300 in and out within 2 days. If I make like 5 trades like that a week, I'll be fine. That's exactly what I said to myself. All right, so what I did, I jumped from one system to another. I'm gonna give you a real example of what I did back then. So it was this trade that I took, WWE. I'm gonna tell you exactly right here. When was this? This was back then in April 25th, 2018. I found the trade right in here. So I was watching it. I said, oh, okay, the WWE is trending higher. And then I saw it broke out right there a little bit. And then I think I jumped in right at 40 or 41. Yeah, that's when I jumped in. I said, and I did the math. Yeah, I think I got in here. I don't remember exactly. And I bought it, and I did the math. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make 2 to 3%, whatever. Like, I want to make that $200, $300. I'm gonna get out. I'm just gonna find another stock and do the same thing. That's exactly what happened. This stock just jumped in and went in my favor. I took the profit, and I started looking. I said, well, this is working fine, man. This is what I like. And then, believe it or not, man, a couple of months later, I looked at the stock. And believe me, this was not a gap because of earnings. It were no news, nothing. It just jumped like that. I was just like, I had my mouth open, like at the time I was like, what the hell did I just did? And the stock actually went from there, it doubled, it more than doubled. It went from $41, I think that's the price I paid, all the way up here to like $96. And that was a big lesson for me. I will never forget this, actually. So I was fine if I would just let it play. Look, he just went, like barely touched that 21 EMA. Let's say even I get out of here, like it broke the 50, whatever strategy. Later on, I will discuss some sell-in strategies if you're a swing trader like me. But yeah, so this was really a lesson for me. If I were to just stick, it was like from how many days actually the market just went 5.3, yeah, almost five and a half months. So yeah, so actually I got more things to talk about. Yeah, so that was a lesson that I learned. Another stuff that I wanted, another tips I want to give you guys is, hopefully I won't make this video too long. Once you actually fix the strategy and everything, you want to jump in and start learning more. And this is what I mean by that. Once you get a strategy, stick with it through a thick and thin. Oh, this is actually the story I was going to say. Yes, stick with it. And then once you stick with it, do a lot of trades, and then review them later and see what works for you, and then tweak them, like I said. And then that's how you're gonna come up with a strategy. Sometimes, like this right here, I still like do this sometimes. Sometimes, like I see stock and I really like it, and if I was on vacation or came back and a little late, and I'm like, man, I wish I'd have gotten right in here. If you like it, and if you think the stock still can move a little bit, just take half position instead of going full position, or even less sometimes, so you can have less risk, because you don't know where that stock is going to roll back on you. All right. Another tip is enter the market from a structure. For me, like I get in on breakouts, sometimes I get in pullback, sometimes I get into consolidation. Get in once you develop that strategy. Like I said, I tweak it. Back and then I used just to get into the stock from breakout. Like if there is no breakout, I'm not gonna get out. So by time I watching the stocks and how they act, and I developed like pullback. Okay, I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna get in there. All right. Next one is learning what is an uptrend. You guys, like once you develop that strategy, you have to put in some work, and then you have to know what is an uptrend. What is the definition of an uptrend? What is the definition of a downtrend? I think most of you guys like know this by now, but you have to literally know. You have to know, like if you have an uptrend, that's you have a higher highs, and then you have higher lows. You really, I mean, you think you know it, but higher lows. You think you know it, but once you put into the chart, it's a whole lot different world. You really have to train your eyes to see that uptrend in the market with the candlesticks or whatever you use, or the lines. Or the same thing again with the downtrend. You have to know how it looks. I mean, it might look easy right here, but once I put a chart, it might look difficult. All right. Again, you have to learn some patterns. You don't have to know all of them. Like it depends again on your strategy. For me, I had to familiarize myself with what is a breakout. What is a pullback? If the stock pulled back, it is another way how to get into a stock. I don't have to know all of them to know cup and handle. There is like flags. Just know the necessary ones. But even if you know about picture, if you just go to Google and then just put in like patterns, whatever, go to the chart. That was my next point I was going to make. Learn some, and identify patterns on chart, and be familiar and get familiar with them and in the chart. Like go in there and then look at them. Like if I pull up, for example, I think last time I looked at it was a Walmart, and I discussed it briefly. Like it's for me, it's easy to pick up that as in a cup and handle. We might argue, but we get that handle right there. And we have a resistance right there. Like get into the chart, and like I said, I think look at that cup right there, and then You can see, you can tell me. See, just think things like that. Like you have to, like, you know how many times like I spent back then just looking at the chart, and sometimes I don't even know what I was looking at until somebody pointed me like, "Oh, look at that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course." But why I didn't know it? Well, I had no practice then. So you really have to sit and spend time and time. If you wanna get good at this business, man, you have to put in the work, and that's what the work is. Go identify, pull out the chart and identify patterns. Just few of them. Like I said, you don't have to know all of them. All right, and then practice and practice and practice, and go over sectors. Go to FinViz and just whatever you like. Pull up a bunch of stock and then go back in history and see what they did, what they support and resistance. If you just start with support resistance, man, that'll be a huge point. And then just jump into cup and hand on that little by little. Trust me, with time, those light bulbs, man, they're gonna go off, and then you are like, okay, I can see. Okay, I can see. You know, I see with the stock when it gets close to that moving average, like the stock tends to respect it, and every single stock is gonna have different behavior. Not all of them most of them they will respect certain moving average. Depends on your time frame, depends on your edge again, your strategy, but just familiarize yourself with that, with the patterns, and again, the candlestick. You don't have to know all of them. I mean, if you know just few of them, just like 4 or 5 of them, like yeah, that's good. And then last advice I want to give you guys is watch a bunch of videos, like on YouTube, go to webinars, whatever. Go read books. I remember one of the first book I picked back then. It was like Swing Trading for Dummies. That was a good book for swing trading. Anything that you can lay your hand on, just read or watch, whatever. So just keep learning. You know, sometimes I just need like one thing that I saw something in a book or what I heard it in a video, and the video is like 1 hour long, man. I just need that one thing. I didn't know. I just want to hear that again. Guess what? I have to go back to that video and watch the whole thing. And sometimes when you watch the whole thing or read the whole book again, man, you pick up more information. And that's always a plus for me. Like, you know how many times I watch a video and then a couple months later, I get back to it and I can pick up more information. Man, the information just gets synced in more and more. And that's what you want. And then once you keep hammering your brain with those patterns and informations, one day I guarantee you those light bulb will go off, and they'll be like, okay, that's what it means. And then from there you just don't have to learn again because it's there. So put in a lot of work. You know, I'm here to help, but you have to put in a lot of work. All right, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I hope you find it helpful. Like I said, these are only a few tips that I came up on the top of my head. Just give me a thumbs up, help me grow the channel. If this is your first time watching this video, subscribe, give me a like, leave me a feedback, let me know what you want me to cover next time so I can get more ideas. Alright, but later on down the road we'll start talking about some stock. I will start like teaching, doing some analysis, not just throwing a bunch of tickers out there, but I'll try to do some teaching with it. This is what I see, so you guys can get familiar with me. Alright, so like I said, thank you so much again, and you take care. Bye.